Hi. I've gotten a lot of questions over the past year and a half about my videos and how I make them, so I decided maybe I should answer those questions instead of just replying, haha, yeah. Also, I've taken a short break in November from making videos, you probably noticed, just because dealing with some personal life nonsense right now, and also I've been making them for about a year and a half, so I'm up to like 40 plus videos now, which is crazy. So I just needed a break, just some rest. So I asked my Patreon and Snapchat followers if they had any questions, and so let's blitz through them. Why did I start making videos? Asks Nai. Nia? No, Nai. Like Bill Nye. Well, I had just started a new job in a new city, and after work I started noticing I had a lot more free time without homework, and I had a lot less friends. So I decided to start filming myself because otherwise it would just look like I'm talking to myself in public, but if there's a camera across from me, I look less crazy. Have you always been into nature, and is this something you study and have a career in? Asks Rebecca. You know, it might be hard to believe, but I have self-taught myself everything I know about nature by myself. You know, I don't always have the answers. I don't know how or why things happen, but I know that they do happen. You know, for example, if I see a bird fly, I don't know how it flies, but I know that it does fly, which is the most important part of learning and teaching. Next question is, how do birds fly? Fuck. But I wasn't always interested in nature. I grew up in Houston, Texas, surrounded by concrete. The only things I cared about growing up were roller coasters and basketball. And you know, the closest thing I did to nature was going to the zoo. I never went camping or hiking. So yeah, it was only in like late high school when I started caring about nature, and I only got exposed to it through my physics class because we were studying renewable energy. And so yeah, ever since then I've just grown a love for it. Side note, my most viewed video on YouTube is still my shitty homemade roller coaster that I made in 8th grade. So I don't know why I'm bragging about that. Alex asks, I fucking hate saying the word asks. Alex says, how was your time studying at UT? And I'm assuming UT is short for Utah, because if you meant the University of Texas at Austin, you would have said the University of Texas at Austin. I never studied in Utah. UT was fine. I don't really have much school spirit. You know, that sense of nationalism is lost on me on pretty much every level. You know, I always find it really weird how aggressively people rep their hometown. UT is a good school, but it was just school to me, so. Is it pronounced Data or Daha with the silent T? Asks Adrian. Well, actually, I prefer to pronounce the full word, Datistics. How did I come up with the idea of Ashwin Enjoys Nature? Asks Sadia. Well, I'm genuinely passionate about nature. That might be hard to believe, but I actually really do love nature. And I had all that free time after work, so I wanted to do a hobby that would allow me to put nature in the spotlight and, you know, show off all these magnificent, beautiful wild places and all these crazy wild animals that we have and that are worth protecting. So I thought, you know, maybe if I make a fool of myself with these wild places and wild animals as the backdrop, hopefully you'll fall in love with nature too, just like I did. And now that I say it out loud, that logic does not make much sense. Emma asks, are you in Mongolia?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've gotten this question from, this is probably the most asked question I get. How do I travel so much, and how do I afford to travel? Well, for the first question, travel is one of my favorite hobbies. I mean, it's probably my favorite thing to do. So I make a concerted effort to do it. You know, it's not just something I do if it's convenient. I go out of my way to try to do it. And when you start working, you realize that weekends are pretty long when you don't have homework to do. So I take a lot of weekend trips. Like a lot of these episodes, like the Joshua Tree episode, the Brazos Bend episode, those were shot in one day on a weekend trip. So I try to do a lot of weekend trips. As far as affording travel, like I said, I love to do it. So I make an effort to save up for it. People think I'm in college. I'm not. I've been working the past 2 years, so that income has been funding my travel. You've probably noticed I don't spend money on much else besides travel, food, and rent. Also, I've gotten really lucky. For example, my India trip was a business trip, so that airfare was paid for. Dunkin' Donuts asks, where did you learn to cook? And did you ever learn how to cook? Fucking wrecked. Well, actually, I learned how to cook by watching YouTube videos like this one about how to make avocado toast. What was your favorite Ashwin Enjoys Nature video to film? Asks David. Man, I don't know if I can choose just one. The Perrier episode was great, you know, just because I saw so many fucking awesome wild animals that I never thought I would get a chance to see. You know, that episode was so stressful and hard to film because I was basically scouring this national park in search for animals, and you know, but it was so worth it because I ended up actually finding them. The Badlands episode is probably the funniest one that I filmed because at the time I had just started dating someone and I had gone with a group of people who I had just met, so I didn't have the courage to tell them what I was filming or why I had a camera because I thought they would just think I'm a freak. And so yeah, I filmed the whole episode in secrecy when they weren't looking. So that was pretty cool. Jesse asks, what is my favorite constellation? My favorite constellation is Ashwini. Yeah. What is my favorite hip food that I made? John C. Probably sushi lasagna. Because I actually thought that it would taste good, but it tasted horrible, so I felt like I got pranked by my brain, which was pretty funny. Ian asks, why didn't I change my name to Ashwib? If you follow me on Snapchat, I asked my followers if I should change my name officially to Ashwib with a B, and a majority said no, so I didn't do it. Are you thinking of starting a new series, Jesse? No, I've wanted to start a new series, but I wanted to start a non-comedy series about the history of food. But I feel like that would be awkward to post on my channel because it's all comedy right now, so I haven't done it yet. I do have an idea for another comedy series, but I'm trying to see if I can put that on another platform before I put it on YouTube. Nick asks, has anyone really been far even? I'm not gonna answer that. Garrett asks, do I own multiple of the same jacket, or is it always the same orange jacket? Has there been a time you wanted to record but couldn't find it? That is a great question, Garrett. Let me go find the jacket, actually. This is my baby boy. I only own one pair of this jacket. It's the only one I got. Never been washed. No, it's been washed. So the story behind this jacket, I picked this up from a coffee shop in the middle of nowhere in New Zealand. You know, I just had an argument with my then girlfriend who was mad at me for not bringing a rain jacket to New Zealand. And we happened to be at a coffee shop that conveniently sold jackets. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll just get a freaking jacket. And so I went and I got their orange jacket. They only had two, blue and orange. I got orange because it's fucking awesome. Look at that. I lost this jacket in Utah, in Salt Lake City, after filming the Arches episode. And I flipped shit because the company, what is the company called? Ridgeline, they don't make this jacket anymore. And even if they did, the shipping cost from New Zealand would have been just fuck. So the Arches episode had to be delayed because I didn't have the jacket to finish filming part of it. Luckily, my Airbnb host was able to ship it to me, but that was a scary 2 weeks. I honestly was scared because there's nothing like this jacket. Cole asks, can you tell us more about your trademark hat? Let me go get the hat now. This trademark hat is actually hand sewn by me. You know, I did a pretty good job, would you say? This hat is pretty great. It's so great, in fact, that Target actually decided to start selling it as well. Charlicia, God, I butchered that. Charlicia asks, what is my full-time job? I am an engineer. I used to design motorcycles, but now I do renewable energy research because I enjoy nature. What can I say? Charlicia also asks, do you think you'll do a meet and greet? I wouldn't know what the fuck to say to you guys if I met you. Honestly, I probably would be more starstruck to meet you than you would be to meet me. You know, I also don't know where most of my fans live, so I wouldn't know where to have it. So maybe if I get bigger, maybe. What is your favorite danger noodle and what is the best sauce to go on it? Rob. My favorite danger noodle is Snick. And my favorite sauce to go on it is arrabbiata. Haley asks, would you ever do a vlog? This video is kind of a vlog. I wouldn't do a vlog that's just about my daily life because we don't need any more of that. There's enough of that in the world. You know, I'd just be another guy over dramatizing, you know, the most mundane shit that happens to me. And it would just feel so contrived and gross. That's actually another reason why I started Ashwin Enjoys Nature, is because I felt like there weren't enough shows on YouTube. You know, it was mostly felt like vlogs, and that never interested me. I love TV, so I wanted to create something that felt like a half scripted, half improvised show to fill that void. Cole and Rob from Patreon ask, where in the world is Mother Nature?
She was in me the whole time.
Thanks a lot, guys, for the questions. Just the fact that you guys have taken interest in my videos has been really awesome, and I really appreciate you guys for watching them. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the questions. I forgot to screenshot some of them, so I don't remember what you asked. But if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments or Snapchat or fucking wherever. Just ask me.